Welcome back to the very, very late night show.
Oh man,
We are your hosts. It's Matthew, and
Sean, what up?
in today's episode, we're gonna go from a little range of topics. We're going a little interstellar with it today. So first, we're gonna go over. We're all well acquainted with the popular media star, the black hole. So we're gonna do his distant relative, the white hole. And then from that, we're going to cover strange matter. So, get ready for that. And then we're going to end it off with the super pink full moon that's going to be coming up soon. So, stay tuned. So, first off, Sean, when you first heard the term white hole, or when I first mentioned that to you and said like, hey, like we got this, this is what I want to talk, or this is what we're going to talk about for this next episode. What exactly, were you aware? Did you have any idea? Like, what was going on through your mind?
I'm just like, there's different colors. What? No, nah. I had no idea that there was like it almost sounded like it was a total opposite. And I want to say, like, the little bit that I learned, which it was definitely a little bit, I'm like, this is like some complete Neil deGrasse Tyson, just far beyond my knowledge bank. I don't even know what to call it, but I'm like, when you hear about a black hole and a white hole getting near each other, then it's basically impossible for just things go awry. And I want to say, like, once light or anything makes contact with it, it's a wrap. It disappears. It's reduced to nothing, and it just disappears into a void and nothingness and darkness, and you probably dead. I don't even know. I'm like,
something floating through space, yeah.
Just some strange pocket, and black holes are mainly formed by suns like collapsing into themselves, which that's scary too. Where I'm like, all that pressure, all those gases just being reduced into these cells, and they're called like quarky cells. Like, take what we're saying with a grain of salt. Like, there's a far more comprehensive video that talks about it, but these quarky cells, it's a bunch of cells that are like collapsed onto each other, but they don't want to be anywhere near each other. And if you try and separate them, it's just nothing but chaos. And they just create duplicates in themselves because they don't want to be anywhere near each other. They also don't want to be separated. So I don't even know, man. It's crazy hearing about it. But yeah, I completely forgot that black holes were even formed by suns basically dying out. So I'm like, oh wow, I forgot about that. I used to just associate black holes with just them randomly showing up, but I'm like, okay, that makes more sense. It usually comes from like, a chaotic situation of a sun literally dying out and just collapsing onto itself. That sounds pretty crazy when you think about it. Where I'm like, okay, so when you be seeing science fiction films, the planet's being destroyed, and then it's literally kind of like creating like this strange looking vortex and collapsing into itself, like, I don't know, planet Krypton being destroyed, and it's just like, that's where I'm like, okay, it makes more sense. Somebody did the research, I guess. So I'm like, I guess that can happen to a more humane world like Earth, or a Mars or something like that. But a white hole, I'm just like, dude, man, Matthew sent me that. I'm just like, a what? Come again? So yeah, that was my reaction. I'm just like, I thought they were just black holes, bro. Like, what? Hey, man, it is what it is.
Next, we're gonna hear about green, blue, red, all sorts of colors.
Power Rangers, man.
Hey, for anyone that's unaware, I guess, yeah, black holes are known to consume any and all mass. Whatever it is, like if it goes inside, it is not coming out. It's literally like a vacuum in space that just sucks up things, and like there's no like it's not like a door where you go in one side and you come out another. Now, scientists, maybe there hasn't been enough research done. Maybe in the future we'll find out the opposite or whatever. But with white holes, now their specific, like, I guess, trait is that they expel any and all mass. Now, literally, there's nothing going inside them. They are just, just burt, just like shooting stuff out, whatever it is, So those are the two, like, kind of polar opposites. And scientists theorize that after millions of years, black holes become white holes, and everything they consume gets shot back into space. And everything the white hole expels makes it at this moves at the speed of light, making it as dangerous, if not more, than a black hole. But the thing about it is, if the two were to meet, if they were, some, spatial celestial battle was going on, or whatever you want to call it, that black hole is gonna, even though the white hole is more age, more veteran, has been around longer, has been floating around doing its thing. Like the younger, I guess, black hole is going to consume it and all of its content, or I don't even know the word, but so everything would literally that it would shoot out would just feed the black hole, and then it would expand, and then eventually, after I think thousands of years, because things are just moving at a whole slower pace going on in space, and that white hole just gets sucked in and feed it, and it just expand. So definitely, like, some interesting, something different. So it was crazy to hear about that. But then also, some of the things that Sean's already mentioned with the formation of a black hole. Now, in that same aspect, if a sun or a superstar were to die and then either collapse under its own weight or its own gravitational pressure, then it can either become a black hole or it can become a neutron star. And if it becomes a neutron star, then it's got all these quirks. Now, we'll definitely link videos in the description to help with the explanation, because we're giving our own interpretation. But there's little protons, neutrons, and they're kind of like stuck together. And then after, I think they get forced into becoming neutrons, and they'll become a neutron star. And with the neutron star inside of them, there's like these little phenomenon that happened called strange, I don't even know what the word
strange
was
matter.
exactly. Strange matter. So with this strange matter, it's like a kind of like a infectious virus material, kind of like your favorite sci-fi scary movie, whatever, that the parasite comes through and whatever it consumes, it becomes that, and then it just goes on feeding onto the next, whatever isn't like it, and it goes and changes it into the same. Now, this little strange matter is the exact same thing in the aspect that, it's so dense. Or let me see. So the strange matter, it's perfectly dense, perfectly stable, and indestructible. More stable than any other matter, and so stable it is not limited to neutron stars. It can be infectious, and every piece of matter could be impressed by its stability that it would immediately turn to strange matter. Now, the only way to get rid of it is to toss it literally into a black hole. Now, it's no issue when the strange matter is inside of a neutron star, but when two neutron stars collide, or a neutron star and a black hole collide, they spew out their insides, which include strangelets. Now, these are, little, pretty much strange matter, but on a, it can be either on a subatomic or it can be as large as a rocket. And literally, they're just floating through space for years. After either millions of billions of years, like, they'll just still be floating through space until they either hit a planet or a star. Now, if one becomes, hits Earth, and then the Earth would literally convert into a lump of strange matter. Like, literally life as it would just be gone, and like none of us would be aware, because it could be so small that like scientists couldn't even pick it up on a radar or a scale or anything. And then it just kind of comes in, slowly drifting by. And then, then we start seeing, the Earth just starts like conforming or transmorphing, whatever scientific term you want to use. And literally, like, we're all gone. And life as we know it, humanity is over with, unless, by then, because they're already talking about life on Mars by 2050 or 2028. So, I mean, they're planning to build a city. So, I don't know. But, and if one were to hit the sun, then it would become a strange star and become less bright. Now, if one were to hit our personal sun that, we rotate around every year and, all that good stuff, then literally, like, our planet would freeze. We without the sufficient heat, light that we just gained, vitamin D and all that good stuff. Then, like, that's it for us. It'd be a lot colder. And I mean, maybe the Eskimos might survive, but not the rest of us tropical, cool Californians. That's it for that. And then Last thing we want to hit off on our space trajectory, I guess, is upcoming event is a super pink moon 2021 on April 26th. There will be a full pink super moon. So if you got a hot date coming up, or you're just looking for something to do, head outside, find you a nice little spot, either a telescope or whatever. Just look up, and you're going to be able to see the moon even closer, like as the closest, like a full moon at its closest to the Earth. So it's going to look even bigger than regular, but it's still going to be the same moon. And although the moon isn't exactly going to be pink, it still brings plenty of cheer. The pink moon has spiritual meaning, which is all about optimism for the future and anticipation of goals and dreams coming to fruition. Trust yourself as you attempt to change and grow. Allow yourself the chance to fail and the courage to try again. Be willing to adapt and redirect from your initial strategy to help make your intentions and goals successful and long lasting. Now, one of the, I guess, hardest things I would say personally to accept is change, because, it's easy to get comfortable and, accept like as things are around you and like the life you live. But like at any moment, things can either come or go. So I guess like with this pink moon, just be ready for anything that might come or anything that might change in your life, whether it's good or bad. Just realize that in the end, like there's an overall plan that's going to come through. Sean, any, comments on that?
Amen.
Hey.
Nah, hey man, you said it best right there. You said it best right there. That's yeah, man, that's good stuff. Yeah, man, you telling me all about white holes, black holes. Now you're talking about the pink moon, man. Come on. And you said it's not even pink. I'm disappointed.
Hey.
Man, we in the episode, bro.
No. But on that note, I guess it's been our day went well, and we're glad to have you with us. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a good rest of your week. Peace.